the only time I got my cane was a couple of years ago when I first went to university. So about 3 years ago is when I first got my cane. Yet I've been diagnosed for the past since 2008. So that's quite some time, like that I took me to get the cane. Once again, I would say this is where like it comes down to the fact that like it's always important to like act upon like your even though I know it's hard to, you shouldn't worry about what the people around you think about the way you look, because honestly, I probably could have benefited from the cane a lot earlier if I had not worried about what others around me would think when they saw me walking around with it. Because it honestly has benefited me a lot into being more independent when it comes to walking in new spaces and such. So at university, I have special accommodations such as I get extra time on exams, I get a separate writing space when it comes to exams or tests. I also get accommodations such as in class, I try to tell professors ahead of time when that like I require seating in the front row. So I ask them if it's like an extremely large class and crowded, I ask them if they could save me a seat in the front if like they ever see that it's starting to fill up. I also sometimes ask professors, but this is usually based, you've got to speak to a professor like before receiving this accommodation, which I've had to do. I let them know that like I might need to record their lectures, as like sometimes when I'm typing, as I can't see PowerPoint presentations that are on the screen, so I don't miss anything. And also, I actually asked professors to send me the PowerPoint presentations before the lectures so I can follow along properly. I've also got accommodations such as note takers in classes. So as a cancer survivor, sometimes you need to advocate for yourself. And by this, one scenario of mine from university was when I encountered, unfortunately, a professor that provided me with the take-home exam, for which I took longer than she expected. And unfortunately, with this exam, she did not tell me how long I was meant to take and like what my restrictions were. She provided none of those in any emails. So when this happened, I emailed her back saying that, like, asking her for a second chance in order to prove that like I could follow her guidelines. So pretty much her guidelines were just to follow a certain amount of time that was allocated to like people, to my actually exam writing time. And she luckily agreed to that, and we ended up going on from there. And I just told her that if she did not feel that was like that I followed it with the second chance and like with the second time I did the exam, she could then possibly take this right away from me. Going through my treatment processes, I saw all the other children going through chemotherapy that were much younger than me and going through much more like significantly worse situations than mine, and actually realized that honestly the truth is that like my situation could have been much worse than it actually is, and that's actually why I even think of my disability as being, rather than thinking of it holding me back, like I like to think of it as something that pushes me forward, possibly like as a special, like I actually refer to them as special abilities rather than a disability, because I just like to think of it as something that makes me stronger in a way because of just everything that I've gone through. I've had the support of my family behind me and just so many different support systems, such as, I mean, this organization, POGO. I've had so much help from them as well.